Thank you and welcome back, everybody. It's really nice to see you, and I hope you had a really good, peaceful, quiet break, and we're ready to start again. This afternoon, we're going to start with, I have to keep it to 10 minutes because we've got actually quite a lot of nice stuff to fit in. Questions of, have you got any questions about the sadhana this morning? Really in terms of, you know, how it works, if anything confused you, or, you know, anything that might help you, you know, with the sadhana. So we'll just have 10 minutes talking about that, shall we? Has anybody got any questions, or was it all perfectly clear? Quiet. One. Thank you, Craig.
Yeah, the part where we visualize the spiritual master, yeah, or the guru above the head, and today we were working with the Dalai Lama. Yeah. Were we just working with Dalai Lama because he composed the text? Is it possible to use different guru? Yeah, it is.
I mean, I wouldn't use it with this sadhana because this is the sadhana that he composed, you know, specifically for this practice. But if you were doing, you know, if you want, because this is what you lead on to, is this relationship with the guru. Mm. And you know, eventually you merge the deity with the guru, you know. Mm. So this is just the beginning, the baby steps of doing that, you know. I would say, out of respect, I don't know, it's a good question. I might ask someone a bit more technical about that, because if you like the sadhana and you want to use your own root guru, I'll find out for you on that, because although I'm not a really authentic practitioner, I think there's certain things we have to, you know, that should be authentic because they work, you know. So that's a really good question, and you've obviously got it, what it's about, you know. It's about this connection to the, because in Tantra, you will, once you take an initiation, you will be given it from a guru. He may not necessarily become your root guru, but you'll have a connection with that guru, your samaya, and you know, in the West we think sometimes that's a bit negative, but actually the reasons for it are totally positive. To, you know, make sure your practice is good, strong, authentic, and you've got someone to lead you, because as you've seen already, just in Kriya Yoga, you've only touched on that much of Kriya Yoga, you know. We have the first part. So you need that teacher, you need that guru, because it gets more and more complex, the visualizations and the symbolism, and, you know, you need authentic lineage masters. And when we're talking about lineage, they literally have, it's been passed down from master to master. This is what I think there was a question this morning about, how do we know that? I think it was earlier. And that's one way of safeguarding it, is this very direct lineage of practice. So we'll find out about that, but you can do it in other practices, Craig, you know. When you're visualizing the deity, the whole point is to merge with the guru, you know. So you often put the guru at the heart, you know. But this, because it's a very you know, basic step in Tantra, it's you know, we've got the guru as, you know, the commitment being, which he's committed, and we have the wisdom being inside the living master. Do you get what I'm saying there, Craig? Do you follow?
Yes, yeah. It's quite interesting, because I never did the practice in that form before, with the guru and then the Chenresig at the heart. Yeah, and normally just visualizing immediately the lotus with the three and then Chenresig. Yeah, so it's very much about the connection with what the guru represents, I suppose, the qualities they embody.
Right. Now, you may not know of her, but there's a lady called Paula Chichester who sort of really formulated the idea not, you know, we already had the sadhana from the Dalai Lama, but she's been teaching for many, many years, and she wanted to do these intro courses, and yes, we could just base it on the long sadhana, you know, the long Chenresig sadhana. But what she feels is that we need right at the beginning to get this connection, you know, that's through the guru, that's also through someone who's living, you know, not this ethereal, you know, beautiful or not so beautiful, wrathful image. And I just thought, yeah, I'm going to stick with that, because you don't need, you know, I mean, you may not do this practice again for a long time. But it just gives you that flavor, especially as we're practicing together. Yeah. Any more questions from the sadhana?
Thank you.
Welcome. I think, you know, a lot of people worry about the visualizations, and, you know, even the practitioners who've been doing it an awful long time say, oh, I don't get really clear visualizations, but sometimes the clarity is amazing. And I think the thing is just not to be grasping for that, because they say there's nothing special. You know what I mean? It's doing it. That's what's special. It's doing the practice. And, you know, now and again, you get a really nice, you know, treat out of it. But if you're looking for that, you're doing it for the wrong reasons, aren't we? You know, so really that's, I think the essence is to just do it authentically, to do it with sincerity, do it with your heart and subtle body rather than your head body. And if you practice, it's like anything, you will find it just gets easier and easier, and it flows and flows. So we just wanted to give you a taste of that. And that you know, if you've had some richness from this sadhana, it's done. The Dalai Lama's done his job, hasn't he? Because when you go to your short sadhana, you'll bring some of that richness to it. And I think that's what inspires us. And we need, you know, inspiration to keep practicing. Any more questions from? Everybody seems quite relaxed about it. I'm very glad. Okay.
Just wanted to say one thing first. Welcome, Faye. So pleased to see you. We've missed you this morning. Wendy did a great job, but you know, it's
lovely to see you, Faye.
Yeah. This morning I was very tired and I wasn't with it at all. So basically, I took the sound, and but I wasn't there. So I don't have much to say. Regarding the guru devotion, as you know, I haven't taken refuge yet. How do we do that in the pandemic?
Taking your heart.
Okay, I can do that. No, but,
we will be coming out one day. We will be coming. I know there's talk of doing some initiations online, on Zoom things. I haven't heard about initiations, but let's hope it doesn't get that far and that you will get your initiation before long.
I do have that little picture that I've got from Land of Joy.
Oh, that's
yeah. I'm really pleased to have it, and obviously I've got the book I showed this morning. Yes, Faye?
Okay.
I think Ola's got a question.
Sorry,
no, it's not a question. It's just to say, I had on my first retreat in Land of Joy, I had a conversation with Paula, and I was asking about, you know, the refuge, and actually she was saying that there's nothing particular. Like if you know, it really depends on you, how you. There is no on whether you would like to really go through a particular ceremony, but at the simplest possible way, it really is looking at the image of the Buddha and taking refuge directly from him, from the actual image. So that is sufficient for you to really have that connection and to have a refuge. So although there is obviously a lot of practice around it developed, but in the simplest form, if you are either uncomfortable with the practices or you are not able to, that's the simplest way of taking the refuge, and you can do it anytime.
Thank you, Olia. That's really, really helpful.
Yes, thank you very much, because that's what I do and what people have been telling me throughout the years. I mean,
so it's just like officiating, you know, it's like putting the wedding ring on, you know, it's just officiating it. But that's a lovely, thank you very much. That's really helpful.
Yeah, thank you for sharing.
Okay, shall we go on to compassion and how we develop it, you know, the methods? Well, I think you all know quite a lot about compassion, and we've certainly seen it. We see it manifested in His Holiness the Dalai Lama. How do we develop compassion? Well, first, let's look at the reasons for compassion. I mean, the Dalai Lama talks about, you know, how it makes sense, compassion, and how really, you know, if we want to be good to ourselves, almost selfish, the only logical thing and way is to have compassion, you know, because, you know, it's like Shantideva says, you know, all good things come from cherishing others, and all the harm in the world comes from the self-cherishing. And when you check that out more and more and more, you realize the logic of compassion. Even if we don't go on to great compassion, it's logical, because what goes around comes around. And we've seen, you know, we have a great example of what happens in this world through selfish actions, through actions that are based on this self that is non-existent in the way we think it is. You know, it does exist, we have a self, but it's not the way we see it at all. And you know, all our teachers tell us, you know, that's the enemy. So if we can reduce that self, I think it's almost exponential. The more we reduce self, you know, the more compassion swells up in that space. And actually, I think also the guru works in a great way. The Dalai Lama says, if you can't love the guru more than yourself, who are you going to love more than yourself? And I think that I just always remind myself of that, you know, because again, it's skillful means, you know, it's loving something else more than you. And that immediately moves us, you know, on that track towards others, you know, that Chenresig sort of pointer, working for others. But it brings all happiness. It just brings all happiness. So, you know, really, if we logically think about it, why are we doing these selfish actions? It always comes back as harm. So I think we've all got a good idea of that in our own development. Developing compassion, they use the basis of our own suffering, you know, that we look at our own suffering and, you know, instead of just putting up with it, we actually put a spotlight on it. And then we find it's unbearable. Our own suffering is absolutely unbearable. And they say that's like the first step. And then, of course, your next thought is, well, if I'm suffering like this, all sentient beings are the same as me. We're all equal in, you know, we all want to be happy. We all don't want to suffer, whether we're a little ant walking across the patio or we're a human being or wherever. So basically, by recognizing our own suffering, we then extend it out and we recognize that all sentient beings are suffering. So, you know, that's the basis. Then again, you know, as we check out, and like we found this morning, this wonderful space, this lovely, you know, gentle, you know, space there where there's no harm, there's no, I don't know how to explain it, it goes beyond words, you know, but that our natural state is actually this spaciousness. It's not all this other crazy delusions. They pop up in that space. Of course they do, all the time popping up, you know. But really, our natural state is this wonderful, gentle place, you know, just non-harming. And in that space, as I said, you know, once we can drop this illusion of this, you know, independent self that exists from its own side, then, you know, you have space for all this compassion. It just wells up. Also, you know, we depend on others, don't we? You know, just in our lives, we completely depend on every other being. We think we're independent. We think, you know, it all goes on around us. But, you know, from our very birth to our death, we depend on others, you know. And sometimes, you know, if you just sit and you're eating your meal and you just think about how many people have been involved getting that food there, you know, and all the things that are around you. Just, it goes into thousands and then millions, you know. So, you know, we are not disconnected. So also we think about that, you know, because of sentient beings, everything I enjoy or don't, everything depends on them, you know, because we're interdependent. And this is what COVID is teaching us, teaching everybody. We're interdependent. And then we can extend that thought a little bit, because we're on a spiritual path and we would like to attain liberation, at least, but really we're on the path for enlightenment, you know, that really big goal. So who do we do it on the basis of? We don't do it on the basis of ourselves. You know, we do the practices, but who is the basis of all those practices? Who's the, you know, object of all our compassion, all our kind, loving thoughts, you know? It's other people, isn't it? And so there's a dependence there as well. And then you can take that thought a little bit further and think, well, wow, you know, that is the only way I'm going to get enlightenment. And it's due to all these beings. Now, at the moment, some of these beings, you know, drive me nuts. But, you know, really, if I think about it, without them, there's no happiness for me, you know. Because they look after and feed into my life physically. But bigger than that, they're the basis of the journey to enlightenment. So I think that's really the start of how we start to develop why compassion, what is its, you know, what are the benefits. So then we have to start to think about how we develop and achieve that, because we all feel compassion, don't we? And we don't want other people to suffer. But it's sort of like a wishing compassion at the moment, isn't it? I just, you know, I wish that all beings didn't suffer. What we've got to do is make a big step into this, what they call the great compassion, because we're not just satisfied with that. We want all beings to be happy, you know, to ultimately to find enlightenment. So we've really got to expand this compassion we've got into an active compassion, a compassion that's going to, you know, be this energy on the journey. And it's the vitality of your practice, because everything is the whole energy is for all sentient beings, isn't it? And nobody is excluded. So the first method that's used, and these are just traditional methods, I think you find it in all the traditions, is the equalizing and exchanging. And of course, this is a practice that we do with the breath, and it's really, this is based on the equanimity. And the equanimity meditations I think the main one is that we think everything's fixed, and that if a friend becomes a friend, it's fixed in this life, they're a friend for life. But we know for a fact that doesn't happen, don't we? You know, some friends become enemies. And the same with enemies. Within this life, we could have someone we really didn't get on with, you know, for many years, and then something happens and changes, and enemy becomes friend. So what we're pointing at here is no relationships are fixed, and they're all temporary states. So we label them enemy, and we put them in that box, and we think that's it, you know, forever they are enemy. But it's not true, is it, in reality? Then we expand that picture to many lives. So your very best friend in this life could have been your worst enemy in the last life and the life before, and so on, and vice versa, you know. You know, your best friend in a previous life becomes your enemy in this life. So what we're pointing at here is that everything is in fluctuation, nothing is fixed, all states are temporary and therefore changeable. And that's a good base to say, well, okay, I don't particularly get on with that person, but that person is equal to me in the fact that they want happiness, only happiness, and they don't want to suffer. So that's also the equanimity. Every being, when you look at any creature, they don't want discomfort. They don't want discomfort. They want happiness, you know, contentment. So those are the sort of meditations we use to work on equanimity, you know, especially if we're having a real difficulty with a person. We just try and expand our mind and think, well, what did I do to that person in my last life, I wonder? And it just makes the whole thing a little bit bigger. And, you know, then you can drop the, you know, the story and realize that, you know, these things are just going round and round and round, and also not hold on to it, you know, because then it just goes on. You know, it's a bit like, look at Ireland, you know, there's a story of going on and on, a long memory, and it just goes on and on and on, you know. So when we realize that, yeah, I've had trouble with that person in this life, but maybe I gave them a lot of trouble in another life. So do you know what? I'm just going to drop it now and clear that karma, you know. I'm not going to continue that karma. So that's all based on equanimity. And they do say your best practice, the best person for your practice is your enemy, you know, which I think is really so true. Because look, what do yeah, it's lovely to have the loving kindness of your friends. It really, really is. And that warm embrace, and we need that so much. But the way you're going to really progress is by working every time, you know, there's what I call my opportunities to practice patience. You know, you've all been in those places. Oh my God. And you just got opportunity to practice patience, and the mind starts to settle a little bit, you know. So all these wonderful logical meditations help us in this life to reduce the suffering, which is wonderful. But in a bigger sense, it helps us to drop these delusions, drop this, you know, way of carrying on that we've done for beginningless lifetimes, and, you know, so much suffering. So when we're exchanging, and we've done the equalizing bit, then we do the exchanging. And so basically, what we do when we're exchanging is we're sending out all the things that we love and cherish, and we're just not keeping hold of them. We just let go of them and send them out to others. So we send out relief, and we take on others' pain and suffering. And by just gently working with that, we reverse that habitual mind that just wants to look after me. we develop empathy towards others, which just increases with the exercise, with the practice. And really, it's a mental exercise to change our focus. You know, all the bias at the moment is towards self, even though we're becoming, you know, a little bit compassionate and we're helping people, and you know, we're generally nice guys. When you go deep down, oh, you know, that self-inherent self is still up and running. It really is. And this practice really helps to sort of melt that and change that bias. It's like Shanti Deva said, right now we can't even bear a little pain to ourselves. But in the future, you know, we'd be able to give away even our body, you know, as the Shakyamuni did. Now that you don't have to aspire to that now, we're nowhere near that. But, you know, bit by bit, we can let go and just let go of even our bodies. And we've seen people, you know, there's manifestations of that, aren't there, where people look at the NHS now and, you know, how they put their lives on the line. To me, that's just emanating great compassion. It's like emanations, manifestations of bodhisattva activities. It's amazing. It's wonderful. So we not only need to look at those sort of things. So with this practice, the Tonglen practice, which I'd like for us to do, hopefully, just a few minutes of this practice of breathing in all the pain and the suffering. You don't have to think of specific situations, but, you know, just awareness. We know it's all out there, and breathing out, you know, relief and kindness. So if you can just sit comfortably and take your mind to your breath, just like we were this morning, and just focus on the breath gently, just a really gentle resting on the breath with the mind. And while we're just in that space, just connecting to all the sentient beings in this world, in all realms, whatever form of existence, but just let the mind go out towards them. And then as you gently breathe in, you know, that nice full breath, not too deep. Breathe in through the pores of your skin, a sort of smoky, dense, black. Whatever works for you. Black doesn't work for me, might do for you, but something dense, something heavy, and just start to breathe that in. So you don't have to actually visualize the beings, but you know they're present all around, and you're just breathing in all that dense, smoky heaviness. Now as you breathe out, you know, from that space, that hollow space and that heart that's in, you know, think of your heart chakra, but you don't need to visualize it. But from that space, radiate out through the pores of your skin, light, freshness, relief. We'll just do that for a couple of moments. And now, in the place of your heart chakra in the center there, that nice space. Place a dark, black, dense sphere in your heart. And when your next in-breath comes in with all that smoky heaviness, it strikes the black sphere, which is your self-centered self, and it explodes into light, and just out goes all that light through the pores of your skin, touching every sentient being. Just try to do a few of those breaths. As the in-breath strikes the sphere, it shatters. Explosion of light goes out in all 10 directions, filling space, touching every being, drawing back the heaviness, the sadness, the suffering, in a sort of smoky, dense light back into the heart. And it reaches the heart, it shatters the sphere that explodes. Millions of beams of light go out through every pore of the skin to all beings. Relief, freshness, love. It's more a breathing through the whole of the skin, all the pores of the skin, and through the nostrils. It's still done with the breath. Gentle breathing. Don't tire yourself out with too many deep breaths. And then just relax. Just stay in that space for a couple of moments. And when you're ready, just open your eyes and join us in the room. So now we're going to have a little discussion groups about that, and you're going to, Faye is going to put us into, I think, 2 groups, is it, or 3? I'm not sure. And
2.
Okay, and this is what I'd like you to think about and discuss between yourselves. Equanimity. Do the arguments work for you? Is there anything you could add to that? How do you feel about the exchanging? And does it help your mind, or does it create obstacles? And could you choose, while you're in that group, breakout group, choose someone who will feed back? Because we'll give you 10 minutes to have a little chat And then when you come back, if someone could just, you know, just summarize a little bit about what you came up with. It might be nothing, that's fine. But just, you know, so I don't have to find someone and get someone step forward. If you can sort that out in your groups, please go and explore these ideas. Enjoy yourselves, and we'll see you in 10 minutes. Are you okay, Faye? Thank you. Thank you, and welcome back, guys. And I hope you've had some really useful conversations and discussion. We've got about 5 minutes to 10 minutes just to do a feedback on this, and then we'll have a 10-minute break. So could we have the first, you know, someone from one of the groups? Do you want to nominate yourself and put your hand up so we know who it is, please? Okay, off you go, Craig. I think that's the first hand I've seen. So tell us all about it.
We could have spoke for a lot longer, I feel. It's a very big subject. But yeah, so regarding equanimity, there was a little bit of discussion about what that includes, and I suppose initially one might think of equanimity towards other beings, you know, not cherishing some people and just being completely averse to others, because some people give us something and other people either take something away or push our buttons. But we were saying it's also equanimity with our situation, with conditions that are constantly changing, and essentially it's an inner thing. An equanimity of mind enables us to maintain some inner tranquility and an ability to respond to life instead of react to life. And that kind of moving into the exchanging, there was a nice thing came up about a U2 song, some lyrics from Elizabeth regarding equanimity towards others, like seeing that there is no self and others, I suppose, the interdependence. And there was this nice song, the lyric is, there is no them, there is only us, you know, which is really nice. And another line, love is bigger than everything in its way. Yeah, so that was, yeah, does it help exchanging? Then we're talking about the actual practice of Tonglen and exchanging, but it is quite tricky, because obviously our ego is very quick to respond to any sort of threat.
Did anybody in practice?
I'm okay on the cushion.
No, out in between.
Taking it out in real life, yeah.
Well, you just keep working on it.
Yeah, so it's a good practice because you're in a safe environment, so you can practice doing that, and hopefully that starts to bleed out into, yeah.
Absolutely. That's why we wanted to create that safe environment, so you could have at least have an experience of it. And I think it's great that you've come up with the being able to, you know, do it very easily here. But actually, you will, once you get used to it, like anything, riding the bike, when you're in difficult situations, challenging situations, you know, you'll be able to call back on that. And it's very, very useful, even just to do a few breaths of that. And all it's about is dropping that agitated mind, isn't it? You know. Great. Well, that sounds like you've. I like the. Yeah, I didn't really cover the equanimity towards yourself as well. I think the compassion towards yourself is part of that. But yes, it is just as important. Great. Lovely.
Thank you.
That just gets you going, doesn't it, with it? So from the other group, can we have someone speak up for Olia? Thank you. Can we just unmute Olia?
Thank you. Yeah, we haven't really agreed with Gabriel who is going to speak, but Gabriel, if you have anything else to add, please do. We just were carried away by the conversation, but
tell us.
but it was nice. It was nice to talk about you know, this whole kind of purpose of practicing equanimity in the meditations, and that's what typically is, you know, the meaning that typically placed in it is that equanimity is wishing for people to be free from suffering, and be happy, and in that way they are equal. The equanimity is that is in the people wishing to be free from suffering and wishing to be happy regardless of what they mean by it. And then but then we started talking about what is being happy, and that finding the meaning, that everyone being able to find their own meaning in what it means to be happy for them is actually happiness in itself. So a person can be happy when they understand what brings meaning to their life. And that's it's and that, you know, COVID, particularly the situation, well, with where we are living now, really helps people to think about it. What is really meaningful to their life? What actually makes them truly happy and truly fulfilled in a sense. And then we were talking about how people can realize it in different ways, and how they can practice, you know, their sense of meaning and the sense of equanimity in a way as well. And that it can be done in, you know, purposefully, intentionally, but also, I mean, both ways are intentional, but one is when you're really, for example, can direct your intention to do, for example, work, or to act, to do work or to do something bigger that will help you to bring that intention, to bring that meaning to your life, and to really help equalize with people and exchange with people. And also you can do it through just a daily practice, a very simple way of trying to bounce back and react differently to to other people, in relations to other people. So yeah, there is a little bit more maybe formalized way of doing it, and then there is obviously a day-to-day ways of doing it as well.
Lovely. Right. So,
Gabrielle, do you have anything to add?
I think you said it all beautifully.
Okay.
And also, I didn't notice the timer until halfway through.
Well, that's great. That's really good. You've all had some great conversations, and the things that struck out to me was how you know, doing this practice, whether we do it formally or we do it every day, and we all want to do it also, find it a way of using it usefully in our everyday life, is that it just stops that overreacting, doesn't it? You know, when you can just have a base of a feeling of equanimity. What I haven't heard anybody mention is the temporary states of everything, you know, how everything is in temporary states. So someone who's driving you mad, you know, could have been your best. How did you feel about that? You can put your hand up, and, you know, about that argument as an argument, that nothing is very fixed, and, you know, friend could easily change and be foe. Does that help? Do you find that a helpful argument? Little hands, if anybody wants to say anything.
It's definitely, I mean, that's real.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah.
I mean, I can say, hold my hand up and say, somebody I was friends with 2 years ago, I don't speak to any at all now.
Change of state.
Absolutely. Loads, you know, just.
Yeah.
and I accept that. I always have. Yeah. You know, because you know that I go in The Bridges of Madison County, which is a film with Clint Eastwood in. Clint Eastwood sat at the table as his character, and he went, I take comfort in change. And I was like, yes, because it's the most amazing, powerful sentence, because you kind of look at it and go, okay, that won't last forever. Yeah. You can use it both ways.
That's the point. That actually is the point, Gabriel. It won't last forever.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think bring that in as well, you know, that feeling that, you know, even the worst situations don't last forever, which we know logically. There's a difference between knowing logically and knowing in your heart. So that, you know, when you're in, when you're in difficult situations, what's going to come up, your head or your heart, you know? So the way you get to your heart is doing these practices. And we'll do some more Tonglen over the weekend. I just wanted to see you were comfortable with it, because some people are not comfortable with the taking in of pain. And there's many reasons for that. It's not all to do with selfishness. It can be things that have happened in your life and all sorts of things. So we just needed to see, is it causing you an obstacle? And it doesn't seem to be causing you an obstacle. So it's a tool you can use, and you don't have to sit formally on your cushion in any situation where you are having a difficult time. Remember your breath and remember your heart. It can be very helpful. Okay, well, thank you so much for putting your time into that. I've also learned from what you've talked about. Also remember as well, happiness is also a temporary state. And when we talk about wanting happiness for all sentient beings, we basically, happiness is a state of not suffering. So we've got to get out that suffering. Time for a break, 10 minutes. Okay, welcome back. And we're all on our feet now and ready to do a little bit of Qigong. And we're going to work with the Qi energy. And the first thing we're going to do, just to line up a little bit, line up your feet so they're just sort of more or less going straight ahead, hip width apart. And the first thing we'll do is just up and down. Now, it's not this particularly. What we're trying to do is shake all the organs, you know, and give them a real good sort of move around. So it's just a very gentle shaking. And you take it from the shoulders right down through the tummy, relaxing the tummy, relaxing the kidneys, the buttocks, hands relaxed. And it's just a gentle sort of shaking. I'll come a bit closer. It's just like that, you know, so you're shaking everything up, just shaking it all up. And feel it going now down right to your toes. Just do that for a few moments. And it opens out all the channels, all the meridians, and just opens out the organs as well. And then gently start to sway. And we keep looking forward. The face is looking forward, and the movement is just the shoulders and the hip girdle. But it's all relaxed, throat relaxed. And then we go a little bit further, but we're still looking forward. So the turn, the twist is in the spine. And the hands are relaxed. The arms are relaxed. And we're still just bobbing up and down, just giving it a good old shake around. And then let that go. And we take one hand up here and the other one here to just give the kidneys a little bit of a massage. And we go 1, 2, and we swing round with it. And we're still looking forward. And the movement is just turning in the shoulders and the hips. but you're giving the shoulder a nice pat and the kidneys. Do a few of those. And then just gently swinging down and relaxing. And when we're standing, we don't have the tailbone out. We just tuck it in slightly, and that straightens the spine. And the knees, they're not bent down here, but they're not tight either. You just take the strain off the knees, okay? And the feet going forward. And now we're just going to give the hands a good old shake. And we go around and round and round with the hands. Okay, and they're relaxed. The elbows are relaxed. The wrists are relaxed. And then we take it up to the side. And we keep going round and round. And then up to the side like a bird. And everything stays relaxed. Abdomen relaxed, kidneys relaxed. And keep that big wrist turning going on. And turn the other way. And give it a good old shake. And then just relax outwards. Feel the chi. Going right down to the fingertips. It continues out and touches earth. And you connect with the earth energy. And then relax. In Qigong, we work with 3 centers. And they're called the dandians. And they're energy centers. They're your storehouses. Tomorrow, I hope we'll have time to do the Qigong meditation, but we're running short of time today. And that helps you also to work expanding these dandians. But what I want you to imagine is this ball of fire, this wonderful warm sun in the abdomen. And when we take the hands out and they're relaxed, it expands. And then as we breathe in, it contracts. Just work with that for a couple of moments. And don't force the breath, just breathe normally in between, but we expand out and breathe in, contracting. So it's like a pulse. Think of a pulsing star. And just expand. And feel the chi is expanding right down the arms, they're relaxed, elbows, wrists, down through the fingertips, touching earth. Then draw back in to the abdomen, into that storehouse. And then there's an explosion of light, and out it goes again. Chi expands, everything relaxed, and then draw back in. And relax the hands. Now just expand one side. Feel you're connected to that storehouse. No need to go too high with the hands. Just feel like it's almost a piece of elastic. Breathe out, it expands. I breathe in and contract the energy into the abdomen. So we do one side, and you try and coordinate with your breath, and then the other side, breathing out. But just breathing normally in between. This isn't deep breathing, this isn't yoga breathing. And also I find it's more through all of the body. So get that feeling of expansion, contraction, everything relaxed. Keep checking the hands are relaxed. They're the hardest part to relax. Now we're going to take that chi, we're going to take it right from the earth that we've been connecting to, and we're going to bring it up through the feet, up through the legs, through the center of the body, up to the chest, and explode out. and expand the chi out. Hands relax, contract the chi back in. Collect the chi, feel it's coming from the earth, nature earth. It comes up through the body into the chest. It expands, turn the palms away, and almost like you're pushing against water or something. And the palms and hands relax, and then contract the chi back into the dantian and the abdomen. Do a couple of those, just connecting with the earth, drawing the chi up right through the center of the body into the chest. It opens out. Turn the hands, push the chi out. Relax the hands and wrists and bring it back to the center. So that's connecting with the earth energy. Now we take the hands up over our heads, collect the chi, draw it back down through the crown of the head. And when we get to the chest, again, there's this little explosion of light. Turn the palms, push the chi gently out. So it's like a sphere, and then down, contracting into the abdomen. And then back up, collect the chi, connect with the chi, and then channel it down, drawing it down through the crown of the head, down into the chest, turn the hands and push the chi out and contract down into the abdomen. And relax. Now we're going to think about connecting with that ball of chi in the abdomen, and everything's in circles. So we're going to first take a circle up this way. So first connecting to the earth, draw the chi, feel that the chi is coming up through the earth. It's in the abdomen, in the dantian, and you're going to just collect the chi like water, turn the hand, expand, and back. It contracts again. Collecting the chi, drawing it up into the dantian. Collect it like a bowl of water. Turn the hand, relaxing, and bring down. Back to the abdomen. And we'll do the same on the other side. Collect the chi. Everything relaxed. Expand. Elbows relaxed. Draw the chi back into the abdomen. Draw the chi up. Collect it like water. Turn the hand. Expand around the sphere and draw it back in. And then just relax. So for the next one, we're going to draw the chi, and it does all start in the imagination. But we're going to draw the chi from, the core of the earth and up through the soles of our feet. We're going to bring it up through the body, and we're going to bring it up into the chest, and we're going to open out the chest, and pushing the chin forward and looking up, we really give the heart chakra a good old opening out. And then we pull it back in, the chi into the head. It explodes with light, and you draw that light back down through the body, just curling a little bit, almost like a fetal position, and relaxing. So I'll talk you through it. So always relaxing and checking those hands and wrists. I still find, especially when I'm teaching, I can see them going, whoo. So keep it all relaxed, because chi only flows when we're relaxed. Draw the chi up from Mother Earth energy, up through the legs, up through the center of the chest. Open the chest out and push the chin forward. So you don't need to push the bottom out too far, but you're going forward and opening out. That's the main stretch across the chest. Opening out and the chin looking up. You're looking up. Then gently breathing in, draw the chi back into the center of the head. Feel like there's a light there. Draw it gently. The hands are relaxed even though they're curled. Down through the center of the body. Feel the chest opening. Down to the kidneys. They relax. Abdomen relaxes. Everything goes back down to earth. And then continue. Just drawing chi up through the center of the body. Opening out. Chin jutting forward, stretching the neck, and then on an in-breath, draw the chi back into the center of the head, and then draw the chi down through the chest. Feel the chest light up, down into the abdomen, the kidneys relax, hands relax. And just take a pause while you connect to earth. And we continue one more time. Draw the chi up. Just feel you drawing it up. Opening out. And then breathing the chi back in. Explode the light in the center of the head. Draw it back down. Through the center of the body, relaxing all the organs, and then connecting with earth again, and pause. Now relax. So that's really good for the heart, for the physical heart, but it's really good for the heart chakra. It opens it out. And as I said, your main aim is not to be out here, but to really open the chest out, so like that. Okay, the next one again is good for the heart and quite simple. And we just draw up chi, hang on, we'll do it this way. And let me work this one out. Okay, so drawing the chi up through the body, taking hands up above the head, and stretching up, and then take the hands back down to the sides of the body. Draw the chi in. Now expand the chi out. Hands relaxed, wrists relaxed. Bring the hands up over the head into a prayer position. Just bend the knees slightly, not as much as I am now, I'm trying to get in the picture. And then turn the hands palm upwards to the ceiling, stretch up onto your toes, and just hold there. Feel the nice stretch down the legs and into the ankles. Release the hands, wrists relaxed, hands relaxed. Circle the chi and bring it back into the dandian. And we'll repeat that. So expanding out, opening the hands up towards the heavens, hands in the prayer position above the head and just slightly bending the knees. Clasp them, palms up to the ceiling and stretch up onto the toes. And it's not tense, it's just a gentle stretch. Remember, chi only works when we're relaxed. Release the hands. Feel the circle of chi and bring it down to back to the center. We'll just do one more time. Expand out. Expand chi out. Take the hands up towards the top of the head, prayer position. Clasp them and turn them. Bend the knees slightly. and up onto the toes. Stretching gently, not too much. Release. Feeling the circle of chi and draw it back into the dantian. And relax. Everything relaxes. And I think now we'll just do bringing, connecting to the chi and bringing it down right through the system just to really earth us. So first of all, you just relaxed and you connect with earth. You connect with the nucleus of the earth and that energy. And you just feel it responding to your fingertips and up through the soles of your feet. And then remembering that dantian area, all these areas we talked about, the same in your head. We start to expand the abdomen. So just taking the hands out, expand the abdomen. Now turning the hands up, expand the chest. Feel that it's full of light. Now just going up above your head, feel that you're connecting with the universal energy, chi. Feel that there's a channel of it coming down through the palms of your hands and through the center, the crown of your head, because you've opened all those channels, those meridians. Now draw that down. Draw that chi down through the crown of your head, filling the head with light. And when you get to the chest, just turn the hands slightly and breathing out, take the chi all the way down to the center of the body, back down, touching earth, the palm of the fingertips connecting, the soles of the feet connecting, relax there, and then just draw that chi back up into the tummy, into the abdomen, to the tummy button, and almost just feel it turn and settle there. And then just relax and expand. Draw back into the center. And then once again, expand the abdomen. So chi flying out, expanding out through the hands. Feel as if they're going through the fingertips, opening out the chest, taking the hands above the head, connecting to the energy in the universe, the chi, and then drawing that energy down into your very open channels at the crown of your head, just imagining it pouring in through the crown of the head, filling the head with light, turning the hands slightly as you get to the chest, feel the chest full with light. And as the energy goes down, the kidneys relax, the abdomen relaxes, and you take the chi right down and back to the nucleus of the earth. And then draw the chi back up, just connected with that chi, and just draw it back up into the abdomen, almost turn it like a ball, and it just settles there. And then take the hands out and expand. So now we'll just draw the chi up to the chest. And then turn the hands, and to earthers, push the chi down and back to the tummy. And then open the chi out and embrace it. Just feel like you're almost holding water or something, or warmth, from a fire, and draw that back towards the tummy button. but it goes right the way through to the spine. You take the hands through and round, and you make a circle. So we'll start again, we'll do it at the side. Expand. Hold the chi, collect the chi. Draw back towards the abdomen, the tummy button, right the way through to the spine. And then making a circle. Bring the chi back. Draw it back in. Into the tummy button, right through to the spine. And circle. And then relax down. Okay, so we'll just collect the chi in our abdomen. That's the storehouse. We don't want it all to just rush off. It's going to be benefit to us. And I'm sorry, I wanted to do more, but we've got short of time. And tomorrow I'll try and make more time, just for a little bit more of the exercise and the meditation side of it, which really helps you to expand those dandians and experience them. But just for a moment, just take your mind down to the abdomen, hands just resting there, knees just slightly relaxed, tail just tucked in, and just settle your mind right in the middle of the tummy, just below the tummy button. And you can feel the pulse, light pulsing out gently and back in. And then we'll come to sitting, and we'll do our final bit, our qigong, our sadhana. The short one this time. Okay. So that was a very brief introduction to qi. These are generally the warming up exercises we do just to get a feeling of those energy centers. And you see, when we're working in Tantra, we're working with those, that same sort of energy, aren't we? Expanding, contracting, touching the universe, drawing back in. It's the same sort of thing, really. So yeah, tomorrow we'll make sure we do the meditation, but we've only got 25 minutes left, and I'd really like to do the short sadhana before we finish for the day. So if you can get your booklet or your text in front of you. And again, we always start with just settling the mind into the body. Resting the mind on the breath. Just watching the breath come and go very gently. And then let's just do 3 nice full yoga breaths without straining, but just filling the abdomen, the rib cage, up into the shoulders, and gently breathing out. Expanding from the abdomen, expanding into the chest, and then right up to the shoulder blades, controlling the out breath and trying to make that out breath just a little bit longer, bringing relaxation. And just one more, very relaxed, very gentle expansion. And then a lovely long exhalation. just to bring us into the space. So first we take refuge and bodhicitta, building up the merit, the potential to do these practices. And we just say this 3 times. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my merit from giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my merit from giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my merit from giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. And we have the 4 immeasurables again. So really, really creating some merit here. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings not be separated from higher rebirth and the bliss of liberation. May all sentient beings abide in the state of equanimity, free from attachment and hatred, holding some close and others distant. And then the special refuge, which relates to our Tantra practice. We say this 3 times. To my root guru, the quintessence of all refuge objects, I go for refuge. Please bless my mind with your transforming powers. To my root guru, the quintessence of all refuge objects, I go for refuge. Please bless my mind with your transforming powers. To my root guru, the quintessence of all refuge objects, I go for refuge. Please bless my mind with your transforming powers. And now we set up the visualization of Guru Chenresig and the merit field. Above the crown of my head and above the crown of all sentient beings, infinite as space, is a white lotus and a moon disk. On this appears a white letter Hri. So try and just expand out, visualizing all sentient beings. The lotus and moon disk, including yourself. The Hri transforms into the protector, my root guru, Chenresig. It's a white light, pearly white light goes out from the syllable. And it's happening above all beings' heads. And it transforms into the translucent, white, glorious body of Chenresig. He is white in colour, together at his heart, holding a wish-fulfilling gem. His second right hand holds a crystal rosary, while his second left hand holds a white lotus. He is seated in the cross-legged Vajra posture, clothed in fine silk garments, and is adorned with the precious ornaments. An antelope skin covers his left shoulder, and on the crown of his head sits Buddha Amitabha. So remember Buddha Amitabha, who's father of this lineage, the lotus lineage, is red in colour, and he sits at the crown of Avalokiteshvara's head. At the crown of Avalokiteshvara, at the throat and the heart are the syllables Om, Ah, and Hum. They are the essence of the three refuges. So just try and settle these syllables, and it can just be light, you know. We have the white Om at the crown, the red R at the throat, the blue Hum at the heart, all radiating out light from that wonderful translucent body. So at the center of that heart space, feel the lights beaming out from the syllables. And then we make the 7 limb prayers. So we just hold the visualization, but just slightly tweak our focus to the prayer, but knowing that the presence of Avalokiteshvara is still there, still very present, above our head and above the heads of all sentient beings. Reverently, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind. I present clouds of every type of offering, actual and imagined. I declare all my negative actions accumulated since beginningless time and rejoice in the merit of all holy and ordinary beings. Please, Guru Buddha, remain until the end of cyclic existence and turn the wheel of Dharma for living beings. I dedicate my own merits and those of all others to the great enlightenment. Just think about those words for a moment. The offerings. Feeling of regret over negative actions. But the rejoicing that we've met these holy beings and rejoicing in the merit of all beings. And requesting that our gurus, our teachers, stay until the end of cyclic existence. So really feel that from your heart. And then we make the mandala offering. This ground anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, 4 continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha field and offer it. May all living beings enjoy this pure land. So really offer this up to all beings in all realms. Idam Guru Ragna Mandalakam Nirayatayami. And then we make prostration and praise to Chenresig. So just focusing again on that visualization we set up. Even if it's just a feeling. To Arya Chenresig, whose body is pure white, unstained by defilements, whose head is adorned by the fully enlightened Buddha Amitabha. You gaze upon all sentient beings with eyes of boundless compassion. To you, Lord Chenresig, I prostrate. And now we do the visualization for the mantra recitation. So we'll be doing a mala of Om Mani Padme Hum. That's about 100 times, 108 times actually. As I make heartfelt prayers, infinite beams of 5-colored nectar, white, red, blue, yellow and green, radiate from the holy body of Chenresig. Feel those lights going out, expanding out. Those light rays touch me and all sentient beings. The nectar purifies all delusions, negative karma, illnesses, obscurations, and their latencies. the external environment becomes the pure land of Sukhavati. So, you know, just for a moment in space, in time, all beings are in perfect, perfect, pure land. And this is possible. The body, speech, and mind of myself and all beings become the body, speech, and mind of Lord Chenresig. All appearances, sounds, and awareness become inseparable from the emptiness. So as you recite the mantra, you can place the mantra on a moon disc at your heart. That's what we'll do today, because we're going to concentrate on the mantra recitation. So remember what I said this morning, we go into the space that is our heart space. It's hollow, it's open. And right about where our heart chakra is, you know, that's sort of back towards the spine a bit. It's not exactly in the front. We place the moon disc. And then on the moon disc, in the center, a white 3. Just, you know, part of the symbol is fine. But really now take your mind down into that symbol and really be in the middle of it as it shines out. Remember, this body is really, in essence, quite insubstantial when we come to the subtle body, very soft. So that light just pours out of every pore of the subtle body and reaches out across the universes. And we start the mantra. And we've set the mantra up, around the 3, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. We see the mantra radiate light out, and we are in the center of that circle of mantras. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Staying in the center, the rosary symbols, hearing the sound of the mantra going out from your heart. Staying with the sound and just feeling the expansion of light from the mantra. And then just drawing back in. And we do the dissolution. All the Chenresigs above the heads of myself and all sentient beings melt into light and dissolve into me and each sentient beings. So you remember when we were opening the crown, feeling the chi come down. It's very similar here. We feel Chenresig just dissolving, melting into that open crown. It's waiting to receive that Chenresig compassion energy It goes down through the central channel and it rests in the heart where that moon disc and mantra is. And then dissolves. Just let it dissolve in the space of your heart, the whole visualization. But it becomes one with your subtle body, the body, speech, and mind of myself, and all beings become one with the holy body, speech, and mind of Guru Chenresig. And this is where we make the deep connection at the deep level. So just feel that bliss. All the subtle body nurtured, all the beings content. And then we make the dedication. Due to these merits, may I quickly become Arya Chenresig and lead all sentient beings to his enlightened realm. May the precious body mind not yet born arise and grow, and may that born have no decline, but increase forevermore. And just to finish, we've still just got a few minutes. We'll do dedication prayers to complete the day, to seal all the actions, and we can dedicate now in our mind to anybody we feel who is suffering in particular that we may know. I'd like also for us to dedicate some of our merit, well, to all these beings, but to also think about the Duke of Edinburgh, who is now in the Bardo state, and the family of the Queen, and just to give some dedication to them. So we go to the dedication prayers in I think it's your prayer book, yeah. Due to the merits of these virtuous actions, may I quickly attain the state of a Guru Buddha and lead all living beings without exception into that enlightened state. May the supreme jewel, bodhicitta, that has not arisen, arise and grow. And may that which has arisen not diminish, but increase more and more. And then we make a dedication for the long life of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good. All powerful Chenresig, Tenzin Gyatso, please remain until samsara ends. And we also dedicate for the Lama Zopa Rinpoche, who is the head of our organisation, the FPMT, who works so hard on behalf of all beings, all sentient beings. You who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjunath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplish magnificent prayers, honouring the three jewels, saviour of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long.